What's going on with everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw, rugged. I got somebody on the line right now, but I'll let him introduce himself. Excuse me.
I'm Kenny KO. For those of you that are watching, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, maybe you've seen a couple of my videos here and there. But I agreed to an interview, get you guys some information, whatever you want to know.
Hey man, so let me tell you how I found out about you. So I know absolutely zero. What I mean zero, I know zero about bodybuilding.
Okay.
Everything I do know about bodybuilding is because of Kenny KO. How I found your channel, I have no idea why or how I found your channel because I don't look at anything relating to bodybuilding. But somehow I got led to your channel. I think, to be honest, what it was first. Somebody said music really loud outside my house right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think somebody made a video about this wrestler named Kofi Kingston having like something weird about his chest, and they were giving like the diagnosis of what it was. And for whatever reason, I think your video popped up in related searches. And I just started looking at your videos, and I was like, wow, this is a very brave and bold young man right here. He's running up to people, asking them if they're natty or not. I was like, man, this man is bold. So for the people that don't know anything about you, just explain a little bit about your channel and yourself.
All right. That's actually pretty funny you said that though, because time and time again, I'll get people on my videos, I'll comment and say, I don't know how I ended up here, or like was suggested in my recommended videos or something down the line that got them to my channel. So I totally understand that's how you found it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get your YouTube algorithm. I don't know what they got going on with you, man. But man,
I don't either, honestly. I mean, maybe they like the controversial content on YouTube. I don't know what. I mean, I wish I knew the algorithm, honestly, and I feel like every YouTuber out there wishes they knew as well. And I don't know what I'm doing like right or wrong, but like I said, sometimes my videos will end up just in total different niches outside of fitness. Essentially, though, like you were touching on, my YouTube channel is calling out all the BS in the fitness industry, among also sometimes touching on other aspects of the YouTube communities as well, whether that's vlog type channels, commentary type channels, anything that really kind of could relate back to fitness in a sense, and just calling all that BS out, in person, along with not only just being the keyboard warrior behind the screen doing it and making these videos and commentaries on all the stuff that I find wrong, but also trying to go do it in person to these certain individuals and see their responses. So that's essentially what the channel encompasses.
So when did you start getting into bodybuilding?
I mean, what's funny about this whole situation in my YouTube channel is a lot of people like say that I'm like a bodybuilding channel or I'm a bodybuilder, but I don't even consider myself a bodybuilder. Like I've done a few competitions for men's physique, which was a couple years ago, and I might be doing a prep here soon for a show coming up, but I still don't even classify myself as a bodybuilder. I'd say I'm more just like a fitness enthusiast that likes to watch bodybuilding among all the other aspects of fitness, whether that's supplements or clothing brands or different products on the market. And yeah, I just don't consider myself a bodybuilder, but I guess I could say that I got into weightlifting just out of high school. And I know the upbringing of my YouTube channel was essentially because I was lied to so much when I was like 18, 19 in the gym, talking to all these guys who were obviously way bigger than me at that time, wanting to figure out what their secrets were, how they got to be as big as they are. And then looking on social media, you see all these big names who are lying about the supplements they take to where they are now. And it was just such this big gray market of like a lot of lies and deceit and just trying to promote as much product as possible and make as many sales possible. And that's what really bothered me. And once I kind of started to realize that it was just this big smoky mirror and not as transparent as it should be, that's when the upbringing of my YouTube channel kind of came about. So,
well, in high school, were you into sports?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people don't know this unless like you're a longtime subscriber on my channel, but primarily that was my background. Like as I touched on, like I was never a bodybuilder. I still don't consider myself a bodybuilder. It's always been like sports performance. So football was my #1 sport. I'd played basketball, skiing, skateboarding, basically every sport out there. I've always been a super competitive individual, which is where I feel like it translated over well to YouTube, because as you know, being a YouTube like content creator, there's always going to be that competitive aspect of wanting to be, you know, better than certain other channels or comparing yourself to certain other channels, and always that competitive nature back and forth.
What position did you play?
So I played a lot of positions. I was at a small school. I played wide receiver primarily, played a little bit of tight end, defensive end, kick return. Let's see, I did some like cornerback and safety a little bit, because back then in high school I was like 180 pounds, and now I'm like 240 in the off season, so it's a big weight difference. Now if I probably went back at my weight, I probably would be like defensive end full time or linebacker, but back then I was just a lot faster and a lot lighter, so wide receiver was my primary position though.
Do you have a favorite team now, like an NFL team?
Yeah. Cincinnati Bengals. They haven't been doing too hot for a long time, unfortunately, but hopefully sometime in the near coming years they'll do well. We'll see.
Yeah, I have to bring up football because, of course, my team just won Super Bowl, so I have to always gloat about that.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Huge Patriots fan, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, I mean, more props to you. I mean, there's always going to be the Patriot fan hater out there.
Yeah, definitely. Who, are you one of those?
No. I think Tom Brady, he's the GOAT, man. Like he deserves what he's gotten. So I can't hate on someone that's been, the most successful in the sport. I think because he just broke the all-time record for most Super Bowl wins. Yeah. So
what was your thoughts on the Super Bowl? I know a lot of people.
Honestly, I didn't like the Super Bowl. I like the outcome, like Brady getting another ring, them instilling their dynasty and just going down in the record books. But the overall game, man, I was not a big fan. Just extremely boring in my opinion. Way too many punts, not enough excitement, big plays, just not what you'd expect, of a Super Bowl. What I essentially wanted this year for the Super Bowl was actually, I don't know if you remembered early on in the season, the Chiefs versus the Rams game.
Yeah, of course. I was
where it was like the highest scoring game, I think maybe of all time, or it was like up there for one of the highest scoring games of all time. Like that's the type of game that I wish the Super Bowls would present, just this exciting back and forth game of just scoring back and forth. But
now as a football fan, I definitely would have loved to see that. But as a Patriots fan, looking at the Chiefs versus the Patriots, I was praying that we would win that game, and we did. And I feel like the only people that really did enjoy the Super Bowl were probably Patriot fans. Like nobody outside of that probably enjoyed that at all. Because the only reason I really enjoyed it is because I talked so much shit about our defense this week or that week leading up. I was like, yo, we got the best cornerbacks. I was going crazy that whole weekend. And when it came up, we actually played good defense. That just made me proud. But yeah, that's interesting. You said you played basketball as well too, right?
Yeah, not as much. Football was definitely my number one sport. Like that was what I played and watched more than anything was definitely football. But I would touch on a little bit of basketball here and there. But as I said, like all of my priorities and concerns went to football back when I was in high school. Like I was all about like the scholarships, going somewhere with football. That was like basically my life back then. So that's where I always say like my channel being a bodybuilder channel, like I've never considered myself a bodybuilder. I have an interest in it, but it's always been actually like more sports related.
Would you be good at pickup basketball today?
I'd be a lot slower today just because I haven't done any athletic type performance in a long time, which I need to actually revert back to doing just for an overall like healthier physique and more functional. But I mean, I definitely could still play for sure. Wouldn't be up to the speed and be dunking like I was back in the day.
Oh, you could dunk.
Yeah, I'm 6'4". It's pretty easy.
Seriously?
I mean,
hey man.
I mean, when you're tall though, it's a lot easier.
No, for sure. No, I might have to come out there. We might have to play some 1-on-1, man. I'm a big basketball guy. So
okay. I mean, hey, you probably beat me though, man. Honestly,
hey,
I'm a long time.
I'm not 6 foot, so you might have the edge, man. You might have to put your hand up in my face.
I mean, I don't know though. You might get the moves.
I do. But no, you said something about fitness, and I was wondering if that actually included like eating. Like, do you watch what you eat? Are you careful on that?
Yeah. So as I touched on, like when I'm doing any type of prep for a men's physique show or anything, I track my macros, which is your calories for the day. Essentially, for those of you that are watching that don't know, it's going to be your protein, your carbs, and your fats. And I just use an app on my phone and track how many calories I'm eating. So I'm in a caloric deficit. And that's where I said, like, I've always had fascination with not just like the bodybuilding, but everything encompassing fitness, whether that's, different diet approaches or different ways to work out. I mean, there's just so many different avenues, but then there's also so many lies with each certain aspect of one of those genres that's what essentially my channel is trying to debunk and just bring a lot of light to.
And like I said at the very beginning of this, I know zero about bodybuilding, but somebody I became very acquainted with through your channel is let me make sure I'm getting his name right. You don't want to beat me up. Mr. Brad Castleberry, man. He's Hey, so I remember you did a video where you go around the little expos, you ask people are they natural. I remember one time you went up to him, he seemed pretty playful and cool with you, and I remember like another time he was like all angry. But I remember recently just snapping. He was like, bro, he's a fuck boy, didn't do this, didn't do. I was like, whoa! I was like, is Kenny KO a fraud out here? But he seems off the rails. So is he an off the rails human? Like I'm taking him because he seems crazy.
So, I mean, I think I've told people this a couple times in videos. I'm not sure if it's ever been like officially published to my YouTube channel, but I always tell people on YouTube or in the social media world, there's always people that have a certain personality in front of a camera, or when, they see a camera in their face, they'll act a certain way. But as soon as like you turn the camera off or they know that no one around is recording, total different person. And that's like Brad Castleberry to a T. Is as soon as I film him or he has cameras or a crowd around him, he's the classic Brad Castleberry where he's, as you've seen the videos, of course, over the top. But as soon as you turn it off, he's actually like a super humble, cool guy, just super chilled out, easy to talk to. And the whole last situation at LA Fit Expo where he touched on, where he like finally snapped, I actually don't even know what that whole situation was about. I don't know if it was for the cameras because it was pretty much out of nowhere. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Is it possible it was mistaken identity? He thought you were somebody else?
Oh, no, he knows who I am. I've met him 3 times now total. But and all the video, I mean, I've made so many videos on Brad Castleberry. Like, he knows who I am. I've talked to him numerous times. So he knew what it was going to be about. He knew it was probably going to be another call out video. So I think maybe he just kind of finally had enough or was fed up with all the negative attention that's been drawn to him. And then, just kind of let his emotions, I guess, get the best of him at that moment. But I mean, we'll see though. I mean, I have the Arnold Fit Expo coming up at the start of March, and I don't know if Brad's going to be there or not. If he is, then we'll see what the next outcome will be.
No, I'm definitely interested. Before we get too into this, because I want to go more into like the expos you do, I'm going to forget to say this, but I'm definitely jealous of you because it's not even about the body or not about anything being athletic. It's about the beard, man. I've been trying to get this beard growing and struggle. I got a struggle beard going on. I see out of nowhere, like you just came back. You just came back with a damn full beard, man. How did you get the full beard? I'm trying to grow the beard, man.
Dude, it's a blessing and a curse, honestly. Like I grow facial hair extremely quick. As many of you probably noticed, like my videos, like I can grow it super fast.
Yeah.
But then it's also, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because I also get like full on body hair, bro. Like I have to do so much manscaping. It's like ridiculous, especially for a contest prep where it's like you have to be like clean shaved. Like it takes me hours, bro.
Nah, definitely not. Like I'm a very hairy person. Hairy on my face, so the manscaping, that's crazy.
I feel like it's just the genetics, man. It's like some people just are able to just grow that facial hair super quick and like full, and then other people not. My biggest flaw that I think personally, I just don't like the color of my facial hair. I wish it was like more like my hair color, like a little bit of like a blonde brown, but I mean, it is what it is. I can grow it. So
it looks blonde brown though.
It's kind of more like a reddish color. Like I've always been like kind of like a strawberry blonde type hair color, more when I was like younger. But my hair color is like always changing. But yeah, that's probably like my biggest flaw with my beard, I'd say. We'll see though. I mean, I don't know how far I want to take it. I don't know. We'll see what
just go full grizzly. Man.
Just go full grizzly.
Go full grizzly with it, man. But no, I mean, you might have to do that because I was going to ask you: is there any like tough men in the like bodybuilding industry that you feel like if you approach them about calling them out, they're gonna get like what did you say? Like, do you think anybody's actually gonna fight you?
If any of them did fight me, I think most of them think of the repercussions before they do anything because they know there's always going to be a camera, of course, a crowd watching, and then everything nowadays is legal, of course, with legal repercussions if they ever, swung, of course. I can't really say. I mean, maybe there's some videos or some certain individuals that would maybe snap. One off the top of my head would maybe be Tony Sentiment or Real World Tactical. I don't know if you know who he is or not. But he was in my Heba Ali video, which is like my most viewed video of all time. And he was that.
Was that the one that with fake weights?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I've seen that. Yeah.
And he was that blurred out guy who got like confrontational.
Okay.
I don't really necessarily have any beef with him, but he was like probably the one example of the guy who snapped more than anyone in the entirety of my channel of in-person call-outs. So other than that, though, I don't know if there'd be anyone in specific that I could like think of off the top of my head who, if I know would, if I went up to a certain individual, they would just snap and freak out. Because if I did, honestly, I'd probably approach that person because I know that's like the type of response they would do. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe I'll make another video in the future that'll upset someone bad enough that they will snap at some point.
Well, I gotta ask you, are you confident in these, man? Are you confident in throwing the hands if it gets to that point?
I mean, like I said, my background's always been sports performance. My dad used to be a Golden Glove boxer. I boxed all the time as a kid. And as I touched on, I think in my last video, I think it was my most recent upload, is I challenged John Skywalker to a charity boxing match. I don't know if he'll accept or not, but I'm hoping to get that underway for the Arnold Fit Expo at the start of March, as I said. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he accepts or not. But
So basically, you're not backing down from a person if you think they will become confrontational. Like, that's not something you would back down from.
No, not at all, man.
Okay.
I've always been, I think that's just like, I don't know if it's the competitive nature in me or what, or if it's like football that instilled it in me, but I've just like never been intimidated by like anyone. Even if like I've talked to guys I've called out or made bad videos on in person that are far bigger than me, like weight wise, size wise, and it's just still not something that I feel threatened by. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a boxing match, maybe a fight at some point for YouTube. Who knows what will happen?
Well, no, since you are competitive, do you think that leads to the YouTube, like in the sense of you're super want to be the best in your lane, you want to have the most views and the most subscribers in your lane? Like, are you competitive in that way, or do you just upload and you go about your day?
I'm more competitive with just myself, I'd say. Not so much like comparing myself to other YouTubers, but more seeing how my last video was, if my next video is better quality, both visually, audio-wise, music-wise, you know, scenery-wise, presenting the best content possible, you know, each video. Because what I like to do is I'll go back to the beginning of my channel, some of my older videos, look at the quality, and it's actually kind of horrendous now that like, I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's kind of funny to see like where your channel started, like, you know, how awkward or cringy you are in front of a camera, how bad everything is encompassing that, and then see where you're at now and just kind of always being competitive with yourself and wanting to improve. And that's just kind of the mindset I have, is just wanting to be a better version of myself on YouTube just day by day. So.
Well, was there a moment or was there a time period where you just got intrigued into making content, like trying to make the best, like you said, worrying about the audio, worrying about the visuals, worrying about the camera quality? Like, when did you really start to be like, I like doing this? Like, I like creating and editing content.
I think I mean, it's always been a passion of mine. I've always loved like just creating, because essentially YouTube is like a work of art, you know, just like painting or doing a sketch of something. It's a masterpiece. It's just more of a video type scenario. So I've always been fascinated with it. I just didn't think back when I had started YouTube that I could ever make a career of it. So I was always just doing it as a hobby on the side. And then once I was making enough through the AdSense revenue monthly to barely scrape by, and I mean like barely scrape by, like pay my monthly rent, you know, pay for my food for the month, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to quit my job, go full time doing YouTube, dedicate all my time into, as we touched on, improving the quality, the audio, the visual aspects, and just make the overall channel a more high quality channel and see where it goes. And then lucky for me, I mean, it took off. But I essentially just tell people, as long as you enjoy it and you're passionate about it and it's a hobby for you, it'll just go from there and it'll take off on its own. You don't really have to force it.
Do you ever have regrets of going, I guess, 100% into YouTube? Because you're saying like you quit your job, you just went all in YouTube, or do you 100% like love the decision you made?
I mean, I love the decision I made. I was definitely aware of the repercussions if it didn't take off, say. So I made sure beforehand, before I left my old job of firefighting, that if, you know, YouTube flopped and it didn't take off the way I wanted, I could always revert back to, you know, that said career that was beforehand. And I recommend anyone that is at that ultimatum like I was to have the same, at least have some type of backup plan, because as you've seen with numerous YouTube channels, you can be terminated out of nowhere. There's just a ton of different variables that come in, or like can come into play, and you don't want to be at that crossroad where you no longer have your monthly revenue out of nowhere just cut from you, and you have a backup plan in place. So
how was firefighting?
That was good, man. I loved firefighting. Definitely a great career. I'm passionate about both YouTube and firefighting, so it's hard for me to really pick which one I would want to do more. But I've just really found like a passion where I'm able to have a lot of free time, do what I want, and provide as much good as I possibly can. And then, as I've said numerous times on my channel, as well as I don't know, maybe like years down the road, I'll revert back to firefighting, try and do both YouTube and firefighting. I really haven't decided what I want to do with the future yet, but both of them extremely awesome. Highly recommend firefighting if anyone that's watching is interested at all.
How did you develop a passion for firefighting?
I think it just stems from just wanting to help people from the start. I've always been like a people person, just wanting to help people as much possible, whether that's like spreading truth or physically helping someone or giving someone something to help them through something. It's just always stemmed and originated from that. And that just translated into firefighting. As soon as I heard about, career as a firefighter when I was in, I think, elementary school, I was always fascinated with just firefighting in general. Just the thought of, giving yourself to someone else for like no reward or, not really thinking about the repercussions for yourself or wanting anything for doing it, just doing it out of the goodness of you. So that's essentially what it stemmed from.
Any dangerous situations while being a firefighter, like being in like a super burning house or anything like that?
Did a couple of structure fires. I wouldn't say anything like crazy dangerous like you've seen probably in movies, where it's like these super crazy situations where they're trapped and confined. I've had structure fires, of course, a lot of medical calls, but nothing I would say that was like life-threatening to me per se. I mean, of course, any situation could be life-threatening. It really depends how you want to depict that, but nothing I would say that was like over the top, super extremely dangerous.
That's interesting. I think it'd be interesting to have a, because have you ever talked about you doing firefighting on your channel?
I think just maybe once or twice.
Once or twice.
It's definitely been a few times, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting career because I don't know, intriguing when you said that you were passionate about that because I don't think I've ever heard somebody say they were passionate about being a firefighter. So no, I think it's cool when people, like you said, it's a career where you're giving your life for really nothing, just like a little bit of money, but not like getting like millions of dollars or anything like that. So no, I think it's interesting because we definitely live in a world, and we always live in a world where people, they do things to get credit or they do things to like, hey, look at me, I'm donating a lot of money to charity, but not doing not the goodness of the heart or whatnot. So I think that's fantastic that you actually try to do things from the bottom of your heart. That's pretty
cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's definitely cool.
Thank you.
But no, I'm sorry. What you gonna say?
Oh no, you're good. Continue, man.
No. I was just gonna say before we get out of here, is there anything else you got to say?
I mean, that'll have to check out your channel, man. See what the content's all about for those of you watching. Make sure to subscribe to this guy, super cool guy. As he stated at the start, we'll have to do a little 1v1 basketball or something. Except for beforehand, you have to give me a heads up. That way I can get back.
Where are you located?
Sports performance. I'm in Reno, Nevada, which is, what's the best way to describe it? It's like 8 hours from Vegas. I don't know if you're too familiar.
Yeah.
Right on the border of California. So that's where I'm located. A lot of people are kind of shocked to hear that. I think I'd be like in LA and stuff where all these most of the social media influencers are located at nowadays.
That's why I thought you were. No, that's I'm actually taking a trip out there in LA around August or whatnot. So yeah, I'm definitely
okay. Oh yeah.
So if you're out there at the time,
I mean, hey,
I gotta make sure to take my HGH. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get buffed. But no, yeah, I think if you're out there at that time, we should definitely set it up. I think that'll be a fun video to do, definitely
for sure, man. Yeah, I think that'd be a good time. But as I was stating, like anyone who's watching, make sure to subscribe to him. Hope you guys learn some things that maybe you didn't know before, or everything that encompasses the Kenny KO channel. And if you guys have any more questions, I'd be more than happy to answer at any time.
Well, hey, until next time, I appreciate the interview. I say what I mean. I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate, players gonna play. Holla at your boy. And that